Hi, I'm Brina.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And we're Mighty Moms, to Owen and Tad, who are both on the autism spectrum.
We're going to share real, honest content and experiences
About what it's like to be a mom of a kiddo on the autism spectrum.
Between the two of us,
There
is
is
nothing
nothing
we haven't experienced.
We don't hold back, and neither should you.
Here we go.
Welcome to Mighty Moms Podcast. This is episode 15. I'm Brina.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And today we have special guests that Dee Dee's going to introduce to you.
We have Lyndsey and Autumn, and they're from Mighty Moms in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Welcome, girls.
Hey, y'all.
Thanks for having us.
So let's start off, and y'all tell us a little bit how you found us. How'd you find Mighty Moms?
We want to know because
we didn't get to visit with you at the autism conference. And by the way, in episode 14, we talked about the autism conference, and we said y'all are our super fans, and we're so grateful for you.
And we were like, what? People listen to us besides our moms?
Yeah. Besides our family.
So we were excited.
So tell us about it.
I'm pretty much that kind of found your guys' podcast, and I shared it with my really good friend, Lyndsey, and just me just listening to everything and what we've been through. I was just like, hey, you need to listen to them. They've been through the same thing we've been through, and it will just listening to it on our time off or our peace walks, and just helped us a lot, just finding you. And then your conference just made everything top on that. And I'm like, ooh,
Wow.
Mighty Moms, this is what we
awesome.
need.
Wait a minute. Tell me about these peace walks.
I was just about to say the same thing. I was like, peace walk. We're bringing this back.
We're bringing this back to Durant area.
Yeah, I don't know what it is,
What
but
is
I want to
it?
do it.
Let us know, Autumn.
Peace walk
Oh,
I learned
Lyndsey,
from
let us
Lyndsey
know.
is we just walk around. We just walk around our block, put our headphones on, listen to music, or listen
What?
to y'all's podcasts, and
Yes.
just have our time for 30 minutes to an hour away from our kids, just to
Then I
Thanks
do a
and
peace walk.
recharge.
I'm right there with you,
Yeah.
girls.
We all do.
I'm
We
telling
just
you,
might not
that
know
is the best time of my day.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I have a great day all day. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And when 8 o'clock comes along, I'm walking, or 7:45, and even if it's just for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
But sometimes, y'all, I walk a whole hour, and I
Mhm.
feel
so
refreshed.
much better. Yeah.
refreshed.
Oh, me too. I don't.
Yeah.
We're done.
So I love that about y'all.
Peace walk.
Peace walk.
I
We're
love
bringing
that.
it. We're bringing it.
I have to do those sometimes at my office, which is where we are right now.
Yes.
And we have a friend, you guys might have met her because she was at the autism conference too, Eve. And she has Finding Eve's Wellness. She had a booth at the
It was
conference.
purple.
And she and I were doing them pretty
yeah.
regularly for a while. And then she got busy and started doing her own coffee meetings. But I need to contact her and say, hey, like I'm ready for another. We hadn't named it yet, but that's what she would do. And I was like, I need to just like disconnect because work would get really stressful. And if I let myself, I'll just stay there all day and stay in that like super stressful environment. But
Mhm.
she would come by, and our back door opens up to Magnolia Mile Art Alley. So it's very peaceful and
Oh,
artsy
yeah.
out there. And then we're in the downtown area. So we would just walk like a block over and go get coffee. And then by the time we got back, total mindset
Yeah,
change.
it's a huge, it's self-care. Walking, getting that blood moving. It's great.
Mhm.
So, Lyndsey, how about you? How'd you find? Oh, Autumn was the one who told you about us.
How long have you guys known each other?
Yes. She told me we've got to go to this autism conference. She said, "You need a road trip, buddy. You're
I
the
can't
one.
believe that y'all
Let's
drove all
go."
the way from Tulsa.
So
'cause
I said,
that's
I'm
a
so
long
for it.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we needed it. That was our
That's
peace
right.
walk that day. We got to relax.
So, how did y'all meet?
You know, we met through mutuals, but I ended up going to this party, and I don't drink, and I don't think you were drinking there. And I was just like, this is so lame. I don't know anybody here. And I saw her kind of sitting by herself. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come talk to this girl. And then we just started talking, and I was like, wait a second. Through our mutual, our sons
my
had met when they were
gosh.
6 months old, because I had went, and that was what the boys were, 3 then, 2.5. We got reconnected and we met for the first time, even though the boys previously knew each other. And then she was talking to me about autism, and my son, I had been through so many pediatricians
Yeah.
advocating for a whole
At
year to
what
get him
age?
diagnosed. And she finally was like, go here for therapy, go here
Yeah.
for developmental ped, go here for primary, and everyone
And
listened. So I wouldn't have anything for my
that is
son in the manner we
literally
did
like
without
why
her. Like,
we wanted to do the podcast, and
Mhm.
why really we do everything that we do is because if we all get connected and we have those things that we can share with each other that makes the person coming behind us, it makes their road a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Like who to go to for what. Because when you get that diagnosis, and we've said this in previous episodes before, you're just thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay, you got this diagnosis and your kid
Yeah,
needs
there's
all these things. Okay, but
right.
where do I go for that? And so that's awesome. I love
That
that.
is a great, I love that story. And so tell us a little bit about your, if you don't mind, talk about your autism journeys.
How old they were
Do
when
you
they
wanna go
got
first or you want me to?
diagnosed and how old they are now, and their names if you want to.
You wanna go first?
Okay.
So I'll share first. Let's see. Let's go back to the
Oh,
day I found
wow.
out I was
Yeah.
pregnant, okay? I was still in high school at Owasso High School, class of 2018. I was 18 years old, and I had a couple weeks left of high school, and I immediately was stressed out as soon as I found out because at that point, you have so many people in your ear saying, you know what I mean? "This isn't easy, you're young, this is a quick fix." And I was just like,
Yeah.
"No." I was raised by a single mom of 3 girls. I know what it takes. Like, I'm unstoppable. There's no way in
I
any
love
world
that.
I would have ever done that. I gave birth at 18, and around 18 months old is whenever I started noticing Parker's speech regression. It was the very first sign of autism that I could be aware of. Looking back on videos now that I know more about autism, you can see it 4 to 6 months. You can just see it all over. But we noticed then. I immediately started digging deep one night after we had like it was a sleep regression night. He was probably 24 months old. And I'm just like, what is going on? Why is he headbanging? Why is he doing all these things? Why is he like, the words aren't here anymore? And it was just like really high tension in the whole house. And I got on my phone and searched an adolescent autism quiz, and he scored
Wow.
9 out of the 10 symptoms. And I immediately was like,
Yeah.
I know nothing about this, and
Yeah.
I'm scared. And then it was a whole we went to 3 different pediatricians, and shout out to all pediatricians in Oklahoma that are current on state laws and advocate for these people because there are a lot that need a
Yes.
rebuild. I cannot tell you each one of those said we cannot help him till he's 5, which he's 5 and
Oh,
a half right
man.
now. If we
That's
would have
too
just
long.
started,
Can you
our lives would not
imagine?
have aligned.
No.
There's no way they would
No.
have aligned. So they said, "Can't do anything till he's 5, can't do anything till he's
Crazy.
7."
Oh,
And then
I'm sorry. We
eventually,
can't do
like a year
anything until
later,
they've
I met
missed
her.
all of their developmental like years, and then we'll do something. No, that's not going to work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not fair. It's not fair. So, and the laws are 18 months old in Oklahoma. You only have to
That's
be 18 months
great.
old. So that's what I would tell these people, and I would walk out angrily, you know what I mean, and say,
Yes.
"You need to do something different." And then that's when she got me connected to my resources. Parker has attended ABA for the past year and a half, and he went from having 400 plus aggressions a day to 15,
Wow.
like where he's at right now.
Yeah.
He
That's
maybe has 5 a day.
amazing.
We did hop on medication. We tried CBD to start with.
Yeah.
CBD was hit or miss. At first, I was like, "This is gonna help." And then it made it spike. It just wasn't for him. So then we did the medicine route. He's on 3 different medications. And I feel like he's understood now. Before, he would just line up paint bottles. He would line up Tootsie Rolls before he
Yeah.
didn't even know they're candy. He just wants the same
Mhm.
object,
Yeah.
multiple of them. He just didn't know what to do with himself until he was medicated. And now he's saying word phrases.
That's
He's just, oh my
awesome.
goodness, like
How
he's a
old
new
is he
kid.
now?
And when we went to the
5.
dentist last week, I just told
He's
my
5
mom I was
now?
walking around. We had to go to the dentist twice in one day. And I was nervous going twice in one day because I'm
Yeah.
like, he's not gonna wanna come back here. He did good, and I just looked at my mom and I said, "If somebody told
Yeah.
me we could have done
Yeah.
this 3 years ago, I probably would have spit in their face and said,
Yeah.
'Get away from me, you don't
Yeah.
understand. Get away from me.
Yeah.
You're not understanding.'" Never. But he's doing it, and so that's the main reason we wanna reach back out because 'cause we're to a point
Yeah.
where we wanna help, and we still have
Sure.
hard days, we still have fights, and we're learning from people with older, and I wanna help
Mhm.
with the younger, so that's a little bit of Parker's story, I guess the
I
I
timeline
love
love
part of it.
it. You're definitely a mighty mom, and a wealth of knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
And
And everybody's story is so different. And it's
yeah.
crazy because, yes, our kids all have that same diagnosis. But they say if you've ever met one kid on the spectrum, you've met one kid on the spectrum
Mhm.
because they're all so different. Like Owen
Yeah.
would have definitely been
Yes.
eating the Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine would have been Mine would have been
Right.
choking
They're
on the
all
Tootsie
Yeah.
Rolls.
For sure, Dad would.
right, and he's level 3. He's level 3, and he's in the 88th percentile of level 3, so whenever I meet someone, I'm like, "No, there's only
Yeah.
22% worse than
I
this,
love
so
it.
if I can do this,
Wow.
that."
Wow.
That's great.
But it's hard to get re-diagnosed, retested because I know he's
Yeah.
coming from
Oh,
that
for
mark.
sure. And you think a lot, like most of that growth is just from like consistency and ABA? Yeah, same,
And putting the work in at home. It doesn't
same.
matter how exhausted you are. I saw a quote the other day that said, whenever you are, and I
We
might have seen
shared
it on one
it,
of your guys'
yeah.
pages,
The
but
Owen
I think it
Foundation, they
was, yeah.
say.
But it's if you think you're having it bad, you're
Yes.
having
Yeah.
it 10
Yeah.
times worse. So it really
It
just
really
humbles
does,
makes you
because
nuts.
imagine
You have
not being able
6,000
to
thoughts,
communicate the
you
way
know.
everybody else can.
Mm-hmm.
And just that alone, not to mention what they're feeling that
Mhm.
makes them want to have self-injurious behavior or
Mm-hmm.
makes them want to do STEM or whatever, all
Yeah.
those feelings that they're having to handle while doing just normal day-to-day daily living things.
Yeah, man. Parker, he sounds like a great kid though, and a great mom to support him.
Oh my
That
gosh.
that's definitely a definition of mighty moms. So Autumn, how about you, girl?
Sorry, I have very
Oh,
severe anxiety, so please
Yeah,
get
it's
patient.
let's just
okay.
breath. Let's
Hey.
take a deep breath. Ready to go?
I do.
Yeah.
I have anxiety too. So
And another
Yeah.
one.
Man, I mean, we were just talking
Let's do some
about
with our hands
this.
on purpose.
Our lives are not normal.
no.
And anxiety, I suffer from anxiety, like literally anxiety to where I can't function at times.
Mhm.
I know
You
Brina does too.
you wouldn't
I
know it,
mean,
and I do have to say it took a lot for us to even be able to do this. I remember the very first episode, we actually ended up completely redoing it because we were
it was
just
so,
bumbling, and it was that we know the
my
first one's
voice
not
was
gonna be
shaky.
bad.
It was hard, but I realized the purpose of it is for our kids, and that pushes us through.
Yeah.
And so do it for your baby. Just and you do not have to share if you don't want to. It's perfectly fine. We'll move on to another question. So I want you to be comfortable.
No, I want to share because
She's ready.
I've never shared it or
Good for
actually
you.
wrote it down.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever wrote in one. But we found out through a mutual friend too, and a lot of people noticing
Mhm.
signs with my son Alex. His name is Alexander. I kind of named him. I was named
Yeah.
after his dad, and I
Kept the
named him after his
tradition.
dad. But we found out all these signs. People say like he's flapping his hands, his spinning, a lot of aggression that it didn't make sense for a 2-year-old because I read a lot about terrible twos. I'm like, no, it doesn't seem like terrible twos. And everyone's like, no, it's just terrible twos. It'll pass. Well, I finally got him tested, and the worst news I have ever
Yeah.
heard that day. But it has been a good patient process because I've been
Yes.
born with patience from my grandpa. He's the most patient person I've ever met, and I think that a lot. And so just this whole journey was him being patient and learning everything the best I can and go to the right doctors. And we've been through the similar 3 doctors. Someone would listen to me because in my head, I think we're going crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not going crazy.
No, you're great.
Sorry. But
So you finally got him to the right
Right.
doctor to send you for the evaluation to get the diagnosis
yeah, to get the diagnosis when he was
when he
2.
was 2. That's amazing to me
And
Mhm.
that you guys got that y'all got your
sorry.
diagnosis. Both of you got your diagnoses so early. Owen was 3. He had just turned 3. And we knew something early on, and not to steal but on that note, because didn't you say, sorry, we have a fly in here. So every now and then we're like, and that's why. And that's
We
why.
need the buzzer.
But when you had both of you have said that both your kids got diagnosed at 24 months, around 2 years old. 3. So
Parker was
Owen.
3 years
Yeah.
old. It was
So
a
2
month
and
after
3,
his third birthday.
same for
But we had to
Owen. So
add
his was like 2 or 3 months after he's about to turn 9. So it was 6 years ago. But he, like, in hindsight, now if I look back, I think if I would have pushed it when he was 18 months, that we might have gotten it early, because he did the same thing that Parker did. He lost his words. So a lot of kids like never had them. And so either way, it's horrific to experience. But I know that like when you're used to your kids saying mama, daddy, looking you in the eye and smiling and being happy and developing completely normal, and then that goes away, that's just devastating. But anyway, I'm glad that you guys got your kids diagnosed so young,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, that's how Alex was when he was a baby. He used to say mom and dad and used to talk all the time. And then one
Yeah.
day it quit
Yeah.
and I got scared.
So
Mm.
you did what you had to do.
At least they were able to show us in some way, though. That's what I'm thankful for, because had they fought this silently without any symptom, like, I did that with mental illness with my bipolar depression. I had symptoms at 8 years old. So I didn't know about it. Nobody
No.
teaches you, nobody talks about those with you. So I didn't know what it was. I would just have hated for any
Mm-hmm.
of our boys to be
Mm-hmm.
silently suffering this. Like, we are all trying the best we can, working every single day, 24/7, no
Yeah.
days off. You know what I mean? So I want to applaud all of us, all of our little boys for that, because it's not easy, and
Yeah.
they're
So I
trying.
wanted to ask, and we do this in our clinic. So we have an autism clinic here in Durant, and our operations manager has started doing this when we onboard new kids, and it just like sometimes makes the parents really emotional. Not that I'm trying to do that, but we get asked so many things about our kids, like about their diagnosis. We sometimes don't ever get asked, what's our kid really great at? What do they
Mm-hmm.
love? And there's so many things about Owen that if for some reason his autism went away, I would be sad about because he's so funny at certain things he does is so funny and cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like he really loves basketball, and there's just certain things like he really loves to cook with me, and he loves to like feel all of the spices in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I love those things about him. And I know every time that I'm like cooking anything with spices, he sits up on the countertop and he's gonna have his hands like this, and I know it's because he wants me to put a little bit of spices in his hands so
Mm-hmm.
he smells it,
Yeah.
and he's just so happy when he smells it, and then he licks it a little bit no matter what it is.
Oh, Lord.
And usually he's like, afterward, what are some things about your boys that you love about them, and or that they enjoy, whether it has to do with their diagnosis or not? Tell us about your kids and something amazing about them. If you were going to not write a bio, but that's what we have our parents do. But what are a couple things about your boys that you'd like for us to know about them?
You can go first if you want to.
Alex, my son, we always say he's a card. He's the funniest little clown that you would ever meet. Especially now when he started kindergarten, I've been hearing all kinds of funny things he's been doing. He's a
Okay.
parrot. He likes to copy everyone. And this special education teacher there,
Good.
she's super sweet. And she was like, she had to go to the principal's office just to laugh. But this other teacher was burping, and he just burped. And my son goes, whatever he said, and just died laughing. And I was
So
That's
cute.
adorable.
oh my
He's
goodness.
silly.
And then the other day they said at lunchtime, I always make his lunch because he is highly allergic to eggs. And so he went through the lunch line really good. He got his tray and he went and sat down with his tray and then moved it to the side and put his lunch
So he
box.
can go through the line like everybody else. And yeah,
That's
Yep.
cute.
that's cute. I love it.
I love it. I love it.
He's just funny. He parrots everything. He likes Buzz
Aw.
Lightyear. It's our little handshake of
Oh,
2 years
that's
infinity and
cute.
beyond.
So cute.
I love it.
I love it. So let's see, Parker. Oh my goodness. My
Yeah.
heart on legs. My heart on legs. Okay. He's
Okay.
obsessed with Mr. Potato Head. Let's just start there. It was his comfort item, and now he's getting to the point where he's leaving it in the car to go to ABA now and stuff. Like his cars,
Yeah.
he's just setting them down. He sees his
And that's a
sister
big
do it a
deal.
lot. So been taking after that and, really learning from her. But I don't know. Alex and Parker are like yin and yang. Okay, Alex is the loud, crazy, messy, fun. Parker is, I
Yeah.
can't have my hands sticky. Things need to be where I like them. And he's always going to make you laugh because
Yeah.
what he's doing is probably not appropriate. At my last parent training, he told me he was saying some cuss words.
But
And
he's
I was like,
talking, so
oh,
we're happy. It's fine.
okay. I was like, are you sure? They're like, he's
Then-
using it in the right context. And I'm like, okay. So we're
Regardless.
going to patience some moments. So he has long hair. He doesn't like his haircut. He looks like a little Cali surfer boy. And he's just really got that keen little like,
Yeah.
I'm running this place,
It's
but I'm
my
gonna be very nice
world
to you.
and you guys
He's
are
been
living
around
in
us
it.
since having
Yeah.
autism.
I love it.
Yes,
That's
you're
what we
living in
always
it.
say about Owen, like at home.
But he loves to make people happy too. Like he loves tasks. Like he wants
That's
to be worked when he's not being worked. I read in the book the reason I
Yeah.
found how they don't like to have free time.
yeah.
Autistic people don't prefer because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. And it may look like they're occupied and playing with their favorite toys, but they're
Yep.
actually just reverting back to what they know best and what how to play with. So he just likes to be told what to do. And we're
Yep.
finally to the point where we can follow
That's
2 to
great.
3 step
That's great on the
instructions.
2 to 3
So
step
I don't know.
instructions.
I
Yeah.
can
I
always
love
tell him.
it.
And Owen's like that too. So we say that we found that he has to have tasks. So he comes to ABA
Mhm.
for 40 hours a week. And so, but on Saturdays, usually all day Saturdays, we're home. And if we don't do tasks throughout the day, he's really constantly like pulling on us to go do
Mhm.
whatever. So we're like, okay, we have our own set of chores that we need to get done. And it does make for a busy day. And you don't get to like lounge around a lot, but you get things done. But
Mhm.
I have just learned to whatever I'm doing, he's doing it with me. So if I'm doing laundry, he knows how to like, I'll have him help me sort. I'll have him help me actually put things
Mhm.
in the washer. Like everything that I'm doing, he's doing it with me. Then he ends up being a great helper, but he just needs tasks.
We all do,
Yeah.
right? We gotta have a purpose here on this earth. And
Yes.
they're the same way.
Yep. They just need
So
those tasks.
that's awesome. So what's your plan on Mighty Mom's coffee breaks in Tulsa?
Yeah.
Have y'all
So
started that or?
This one.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm excited. Our
Ooh.
first one is this Thursday, and just I want everyone to know that they have someone they
Absolutely.
can talk to and always someone that is there and not alone, especially if they have mental illness or autoimmune disease or whatever is just like keeping them down to the day, even with struggles with their children sometimes, that they're not ever alone. And that's how I always felt was always alone until I met her. And so everyone just
That's
needs someone,
right.
you know?
She's definitely the soft spoken one. I have background in speaking. I shared my story. I'm a suicide attempt survivor, and I've spoke to 30,000
Wow.
kids, adults,
That's
second
great.
graders, you name it. I've spoke to the age group, sharing my story since I was 15. And so whenever I started getting this drive to, I'm like, whenever I became pregnant with Parker, my plans to motivational speak got all the way messed up, and I
Sure.
chose him
Sure.
over that whole path that I have. So I
I'm
just figured
like,
out that
That's
God kind of
right.
we're
shifted
like,
my
but
focus, and
did
he's like, we can
you?
still
Yeah.
make sure people are
Yep.
not leaving this earth, but we're going to do
Yes.
it
Mhm.
this way
Yes.
instead now. So I knew that I needed it. I knew that I needed somebody to keep
That's
me
right.
organized, to keep me committed. Yes, we both have physical illness. I have a very rare autoimmune disease, very similar
Mm-hmm.
to multiple sclerosis. It's called MOGAD, and
Oh,
I got
wow.
diagnosed with it in January, and I could not
Oh,
walk or
my
see for 5
gosh.
days. And it's literally the scariest thing
Wow.
I've ever been through. And it was on Parker's birthday. Like I was in the hospital for his birthday, and
I'm
it was
so
terrible. It
sorry.
was
Wow.
not an easy thing. And I'm living in pain every single day now. I'm trying to figure out how to deal with
Mm.
his disability, my disability. She also has eyesight issues where her eyesight comes and goes. So I think that maybe if one day we're both blind together, that's why God
You'll
connected us,
figure it
because we're gonna
out
be out here with like
together.
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. We just relate on so many things, and I couldn't do anything without her. So whenever you guys said to us, why don't you just do it this way? I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is what we needed. An
Aw.
organizer. Thank you for being the organizer, because we have the will, we have what we're going to be basing for these moms on Thursday is I want you to leave feeling refreshed. You're
Yep.
probably going to come on E. I want you to leave on full. I want to make sure that everybody has the resources they need. No kid go hungry. No kid go without shoes. No kid go without diagnosis.
Yeah.
No kid go without anything. We're going to make sure, and parents too, like, I just want to make sure they feel seen. I struggle with severe anxiety, PTSD from Parker's diagnosis. I base his well being off of noises. I have all of his noises registered in
Me
my mind.
too.
And if I
Yeah.
hear a noise that it doesn't sound right to me, I am freaking
Yep.
out, and I'm there and I'm quick and I'm trying to figure it out. So I am like, I couldn't enjoy the 4th of July
Yeah.
this year for the first time because it was just way too much for me. I had to
Yeah.
put my music on, and I still was able
Yeah.
to watch, but there's just all things that I know. The biggest reason I want to do this is because I have met 2 different moms in the past 2 months, and they have told me, you know,
Yep.
we have
Yep.
secluded away from society and we
Yep.
have
The
felt so
isolation.
misunderstood. One of them, their daughter's pretty old, so
Yep.
they've been doing this for a long time. They said, since I met you, I don't feel so misunderstood. I feel like not a bad mom when I think this way, or I react this way, or I have these feelings or thoughts. We don't feel so alone. And one of the moms said that they're more
Yeah.
willing to go out in public now because Alex's teacher was actually the perfect teacher this year for him because she did sped for what, 7 years, she said. And then she switched to
16.
general. 16. Okay, I'm so sorry. I did it backwards. She's been doing general ed for 7, I
Yeah.
think. I don't know. But she wanted to switch to general ed because she wants these neurotypical children to
Oh,
understand
I
how to
love
tolerate,
that.
accept, learn, and
Wow.
That's
interact
Wow.
with the
great.
neurodiverse. So there's people everywhere. You see it. And my
I
aunt calls me
love
the autism
that.
whisperer. She says, like, adults, kids are always, I'm just meeting them. I
Yeah.
come home or I
I
come
feel
and
the
visit
same way
them. And
too.
I'm like,
And I'm sure
Yeah.
Brina's in it
I met
every
somebody and they're autistic.
Brina's in it
And I
every
love
day,
it.
but I feel the same way too. It's amazing.
It's just like the first time I met Tad, her son,
Yeah.
was actually a couple years after because
Mhm.
everything that we went to was like
We
for
were
the
working.
foundation
We
and
were
we were working.
working.
And so he wasn't there. And when we had our 5K back in April, I met him and it was just like a grown-up version of Owen, like a bigger
Mhm.
version of Owen. And
And he goes right up and just
just the
hugs her
biggest hug and held on
like
to
he's
me.
known her
And it
for
was like, I
ever.
felt like I was hugging Owen's like older, like this is what it'll be like when Owen's your size.
I
And he
love
just knew
that.
I was a mom, and I think he
Mhm.
knew I was an autism mom.
Yeah.
And plus, he'd heard you talk about me, so he was
That's
probably like,
true.
"So this is
And
Brina,
this is Brina you've been
okay?"
talking about all the time.
Yeah, he's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, man, I love that y'all are doing this until I
We
it
could
could
be
be
there.
I wish we could be there, absolutely, but I wish that more moms would get the courage to do that and
Mhm.
it's not difficult to do.
Yeah, so if anybody's watching this and you live somewhere else in the world, US, wherever, and you want to do it, there's nothing stopping you from having your own Mighty Moms coffee break.
And email
So
us
reach out to
at
us.
mightymomspodcast@gmail.com. If you we can help organize that
Yeah,
for you. I mean, we
absolutely.
can give you tasks of start,
Yep.
how to get the word out. I mean, look at y'all. Y'all've done it. We've done it.
And we're
Um,
just like regular
we're
moms,
we're
you
just
know?
regular moms out there
But
just
there's
trying to
such a
help other
need. There's
moms.
such a need for all of us regular autism moms to come together and be a worldwide cult,
Of Mighty
basically.
Moms.
Because
That's
like
our
you said, we have been misunderstood and we do stick together. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, we stick together because I'm like, when someone tells me if I see someone in public and I can tell by the way their child is behaving some of the same, like hand flapping or whatever,
Mhm.
and I'm already connected
Yeah,
with
me
that
too.
parent. Like we are connected, and we just went dark on the screen. I don't know why, but it'll come back. It's just this is only our second podcast to produce on our own. We are
It's
our
like
own producers now, so
I
we're
had
learning.
to get
It's
it.
That's
fine.
okay. That's another too. None of these moms can work. They're like
Yeah,
80% are
that's
moms.
a
Like
huge
it's
issue.
just
Like that, it
it's a
is.
problem.
Yeah,
It's a problem.
that is definitely a problem. And
There we are. Came back.
oh, we're back.
Hello. Episode
Come.
16.
It's definitely hard to
So
keep a
Thursday.
job.
Yeah, it took me 6 months. It took me 6 months to lose a job at the
Wow.
place I worked for 6 years.
Man.
Yeah. After ABA started, they kept calling too much and I couldn't,
Yeah.
which I'll be
Yeah.
there. I
Yeah.
don't care. Call me. I'll be there. Like, I'll quit this
Yeah.
Yeah.
job. I don't care. You are my full-time job. What I
Yep.
tell everyone.
And that
He's my
I'm the
full-time
same
job
way.
now.
He's my priority over anything. And that's one thing that I really wish Oklahoma would be on board. There's other states that have the caregiver salary that they offer stay at home or caregivers that are staying home and
Mhm.
caring for their children.
Mhm.
They actually get a salary. I can't remember exactly those states, but there's multiple states in the United States that offer an actual salary. In Oklahoma, we need to get on board with that. I mean, it's
Yep.
not like we
Yeah.
don't want to work. I mean, we don't have an option.
Mhm.
And maybe that's something we can all look into to try to make a difference.
Make a change.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions for us? We're so excited for Thursday for y'all.
I
Let
don't
us
think
know.
I Besides it just the lagging, I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you
Oh,
were
I was
saying.
just saying, do y'all have any questions for us?
Do you have any questions?
Oh,
You're okay. You're good.
no, besides
I
I
go
just went
blank
blank,
all the
sorry.
time.
I don't
Okay,
like
That's
yeah.
the story of my life, is going blank.
My thing is names.
Oh, my thing is names. I
I'm
cannot
mom brain.
remember names.
Yeah, that's okay. With the amount of stress, like I love the statistics when they compared us to those who fight for our country. You take the brain of the support needs mom and the brain of the one who fights for our country, and you see their hormone levels,
Mhm.
they're exactly the
Yeah,
same.
and
Because of we're in extreme fight or flight 24/7. It doesn't shut off. When I wake up in the morning, it's not like,
Oh.
oh, I wish I could have 10 more minutes. I'm like, Parker's hitting
something,
my arm.
it's
I'm like, okay,
they're
Yeah.
on.
let's go.
They're
You know what
so
I
I
mean?
remember hearing
There's
that statistic too, and Dee Dee and I had talked about
Go, go, go.
we may have mentioned this on a
Mhm.
podcast
We
before. We
did, our
talked about
very
that,
first
how
one, I
it was
think.
so hard, like, not that we didn't know it's obviously hard, difficult being an autism parent, but it was so hard to compare yourself to someone who's at war, like
Mhm.
fighting for our freedom, but you can't
but we are for
argue
our
with
kids.
science, and it's the science is there, and
We're trying to keep them safe every day. That's a
yeah,
fight. That's a war. That I have had chipped tooth over it. We've had 3 broken
yeah,
TVs over it. We only do projectors at our house now. You learn to
yeah,
accommodate it, but it's not easy. It's not first time, hardly ever. It's
yep,
trial and error, and that's a war. And I'm
yep,
proud of anybody listening to this that wakes up every day to choose, like, I
yes,
am strong enough to do this. This is not how my life was supposed to be, but it is how it's supposed to be. So I'm
Yep.
gonna get comfortable with being
yep,
uncomfortable.
That's right.
You know what I
Don't
mean?
don't ever listen to that little voice
yeah.
That's
just
right.
speaking
And
negative.
as long as
Yes,
we're all
never.
staying connected and
Never.
sharing what we've learned with other moms, like that's all that matters. And
Mhm.
that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you guys so much for being on the podcast.
Yes,
And
I look forward. I heard that y'all may be doing your own podcast in the future, so I really hope y'all work
we
on
can't
that.
wait.
I'm sorry, I
It
didn't
lagged
know.
again. I'm
Sorry.
so sorry.
I hope that y'all had spoke about
Possibly doing
possibly doing your own podcast.
podcast.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna
So
get it
if
up
we
and going
do,
eventually. I have a surgery coming up after that.
oh
I
my
think she just had a
goodness,
surgery. I'm gonna get my surgery out of the way, and
you
then
guys,
hopefully by December, we took the notes of having a
yeah,
couple
Yes.
pre-recorded so that whenever it
yeah.
comes out, it's not going to catch up
And the
with
biggest
yourself
thing
and
I
it's not
think too is
overwhelming.
don't
So
stress about it. We used to,
we'll come to
yes,
you when we
we
need
used to
help.
stress about staying on a really strict schedule and making sure like we had these release dates and all that. And now we're
We're just
like,
fine.
listen,
It'll
if we need to
happen.
take a break, we take a break. If we need to take a break for a couple months, we
Yep,
take a break. And we stay connected with
I
people
love
on
it.
our social medias. We're still learning how to TikTok. We're old. So there's that. But regardless, just make sure you don't let it become a burden. And I think that's one thing that we've learned over the last almost year that we've
Mhm.
been doing this. Has
Yeah,
it almost been a year?
October will be a year for us.
So that's the number one thing I think we'd realized, hey, if we need to take a break, then we take a break
Mhm.
because we're not doing this to stress ourselves out. We're doing this to create a community of moms. And if we're doing that, then that's all that matters. And all those moms in our community, they're going to get it. They're going to understand why we need the break.
Yeah.
So make sure you
Yeah.
don't stress
Yes,
out about it.
Peace
And we're here
walks.
for you anytime.
this walks.
We thank y'all for joining us. And we're going to, if you'll just hang out a little bit after, don't hang up. But
Yeah, that's it.
that's
Just let
it.
us know about Thursday. We can't wait.
Yeah. Maybe come back and post in our comments how it
Yeah.
went.
Absolutely.
Ooh, post a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would.
Yes, we will. We got some good
Oh,
pictures before we
yay,
jumped on
yay.
here, so
Okay.
hopefully we'll have a little better pictures. My older
Oh,
sister's a photographer,
nice.
so
There
she
you
needs to
go.
get
Put her to
on
work. Yeah.
doing us a little photo.
We appreciate y'all and we appreciate our viewers, and be sure to like and subscribe on our
Yes.
YouTube channels and our Facebook, all of our social
All the
medias.
things. Look
Mighty
us up.
Moms Podcast. And like Brina said, we're new to TikTok, but we're working on it. We're getting a little
We'll get
better.
there.
So tune in on our next podcast coming up. It'll be episode
16. Yeah.
And we'll see you then. Thank y'all.
Okay, Mighty Moms, we're signing off.
Connect with us on our Mighty Moms socials, submit your topic ideas, and share it all.
Follow us at Mighty Moms Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Also, visit our website at mightymomspodcast.com. And remember, together we are a worldwide cult of Mighty Moms.
Hell, bitch.
Listen, my carpets used to be a struggle to keep clean. Between 2 boys and 2 fur babies, I was always cleaning up spills and stains. Then I found Ray at ChemDry, and basically I've had him on speed dial ever since. So when you need your carpets, furniture, or even hardwood floors cleaned, call or even text ChemDry. Ray will get you all cleaned up. Founded, owned, and operated by nurses, Angels of Care Pediatric Home Health's clients are at the heart of everything they do. Proudly serving the medically fragile community since 2000, Angels of Care offers private duty nursing services, speech, physical, and occupational therapies, and respite care across the nation. We are also happy to announce we have started offering services in Colorado. Please visit angelsofcare.com or call 855-45-ANGEL for more information. Get your halos on.
If you've been in an automobile accident or have vehicle damage, S&L Collision Center is the body shop to call for all your auto body repair needs. Larry Hallmark and family have been in business for many years. They are honest and do exceptional work. I have had all of my vehicles repaired by them and have always been satisfied with their work. So if you're in the need for auto body repair, call S&L Collision Center at 580-924-5958. Blackburn Plumbing and Air provides high-quality plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services in Durant, Oklahoma, and throughout the Texoma region. With a proven track record for getting exceptional results, they are ready to take on even the most challenging plumbing and HVAC issues.
Contact them at 580-775-1779 to schedule your appointment today.
Has your Texoma area kiddo recently been diagnosed with autism? You received an order for ABA therapy but have no idea what ABA therapy is or where to enroll your child to receive ABA therapy? Well, look no further than the Owen Academy. TOA was opened in early 2024 and is owned by a local autism mom who has previous business experience in opening varying categories of clinics in Texas and Oklahoma. But most importantly, she has real-world experience navigating life as an autism mom. The Owen Academy has gone above and beyond to create a beautiful and imaginative environment in their now 2 clinic locations in Durant, Oklahoma, to ensure that their therapy techniques are always child-led and play-based. The Owen Academy is proudly serving many families in Bryan, Atoka, Grayson, and Marshall counties with a goal to always expand when and where there is a need. In addition to their warm and inviting therapy clinics, the Owen Academy has gone the extra mile to ensure the qualifications, compassion, heart, and stamina of their board-certified behavioral analysts and registered behavior technicians. At TOA, we are a family. We would love for you to join us and help us continue to create awareness and compassion for individuals with autism in our community. If you're looking for a career in autism therapy or looking to enroll your child in our therapy services, email us today at info@theowenacademy.com or call 580-706-OWEN. That's 580-706-6936. The Owen Academy, where possibilities are limitless.
Bushwhackers Land Clearing and Brush Grinding Services provide cost-effective land clearing and brush grinding services in Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and the surrounding areas. Their environmentally conscious approach keeps soil disturbance to a minimum and can clear without leaving brush piles to burn. They provide commercial land clearing, farm, ranch, pasture clearing, and ROW and pipeline clearing. For all your land clearing needs, call or text Jerry at 580-920-5039 to get your estimates today.
Ladies, let me tell you about my personal experience with Plumped Injectables and Beauty Bar in Durant. Yes, I get Botox like clockwork every 4 months. There's no shame in it for me. I love that I've been able to watch my forehead lines and crow's feet disappear over the last year, and I can't imagine now ever not getting Botox from Randy and her girls at Plumped. Their location here in Durant has such a serene and peaceful vibe. As soon as you walk in the door, you're greeted with a sweet hello and the scent of their very own signature diffuser oil. From Botox, lip flips, and microfacials to lash and eyebrow tinting, hydrating facials, body sculpting and waxing, and so much more, Plumped has all of your top-tier beauty essentials covered. Get your Plumped on by calling 580-634-2852 or emailing plumpedbeautybar@gmail.com. Visit plumpedbeauty.com to see their comprehensive list of services and see what the buzz is all about.
That happened right before we came on, too.
Just a second.
I think I need to keep my to hear them anyway.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
It's my life.
Oh my
This is
God.
us trying to do anything.
Well,
here
when
for
all
this
this was happening earlier, I was like, we need to be recording right now. This is the
Well,
stuff
it was-
people need to see.
It was recording that
Yeah.
time.
There you go.